Hi, and welcome on to Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Today's big rumour is about Karim Benzema, which will be music to the ears of many Arsenal fans because it seems to me like he's sort of emerging as the player that most Arsenal fans out there would love Arsenal to sign. And we're being told today that Arsene Wenger, the manager, has put in a personal telephone call to Karim Benzema, and this is according to a Spanish journalist. He goes by the name of Paco Gonzalez from COPE. He says that Arsene Wenger has put in a personal call to Karim Benzema, trying to convince him to join Arsenal. Now, how does he know that? That's the funny thing about this, is what I was thinking to myself. If he did put in a personal call, how would he know that Arsene Wenger's put in a personal call to Karim Benzema? All right, I suppose Karim Benzema could have told a friend who's then got onto him. And isn't that tapping up if you make a call to him? It does happen, though. It does happen. Now, listen, as I said, this would be music to the ears of all Arsenal fans if it is true. If it is true. Because, as I said, Karim Benzema seems to have emerged over the past few days as the player that most Arsenal fans would like to see. It seems like a lot of us have turned our focus and attention towards we need a world-class striker. And if we could get that world-class striker, a player of Benzema's caliber in a team with, you know, the players around him, we'd have a really great shot at winning that title. But, as I said, that is the big one today. That personal phone call has been put in by Wenger. And you know what? Those sort of things, if it's true, carries a lot of influence. We've seen the influence with the Petr Cech deal. Petr Cech said, one of the main reasons I've joined Arsenal is because of Arsene Wenger. Alexis Sanchez signed for Arsenal because of personal contact from Arsene Wenger. And Benzema being a French international from France, as we know, Wenger's France, the French connection, they all know what Wenger's done at the Emirates over the years. Something personal from Arsene Wenger would go a really, really long way. And I'm sure a lot of fans would be really happy about that. The other player who seems to be on Arsenal's radar this week is Gonzalo Higuain. Again, rumour going around today that he's pushing his brother, who is his agent as well, to try and get the move done. To try, you know, he's saying to his brother, listen, priority number one, get me to the Emirates. I want to join Arsenal. They're interested in me. I know it's going to be difficult because of how Napoli are carrying on, but please try and line this one up. That is my preferred destination. I would like to be at the Emirates Stadium playing my football next season. I want to play in the Champions League. I want to play for a top team. Get this deal done. And that is what some of the media outlets are reporting today, that, you know, Higuain is pushing for a move to Arsenal, and he's instructed his agent, who's his brother, to try and get that done. Again, real mixed. I'll read out some of the comments later, but I asked guys yesterday, I said, listen, let me know, would you want Higuain? Because there's been a bit of a backlash against Higuain following his poor performance in the final of the Copa America. But in isolation, you're taking that in one game. The guy is a quality player. Would he be what Arsenal need up front? Or is he no better than Olivier Giroud? We'll hear from you guys later on that one. The most incredible, fascinating rumour that I've heard today, and I've heard some ridiculous ones this week. Of course, there was the Di Maria one to Arsenal. Well, here comes this one, hot on the heels of that one. Mesut Ozil linked with a move away to Juventus. Now, this all seems to centre around the fact that the manager of Juventus has said, and this has been reported by two outlets over there in Italy. One's called Calcio's Mercato, and the other one's called Sport Media Set. Two Italian sports media outlets are saying that the manager of Juventus has said that, listen, if we sell Pogba or Vidal, then we should try and get Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil would be the player that I'd like to bring in to replace those two. Now, listen, There's a lot of Arsenal fans who obviously would be there and they'll be like, oh my God, shock, horror. First of all, let me just say, there's absolutely no way that Arsenal are going to sell their marquee, their number one sign. I mean, we've been hearing rumours this week that Arsene Wenger said that, listen, next season it's going to be number 10 role all the way for Mesut Ozil. I've seen the light now. I put him in that position towards the end of last season and he was absolutely brilliant. He's had 2 seasons under his belt now. He's used to the Premier League. He's used to everything. Mesut Ozil is going to be the person that I build Arsenal's football team around from now on. Why would he want to sell him to Juventus? I mean, it's all speculation anyway. And the other thing is, listen, you can't stop a manager from saying, listen, that's the guy I'd love to get to replace these two. But I think even Juventus know that there's no way on this earth that Arsenal would sell him. And then I saw a fee in one of the papers that were reporting the story today saying that they put in a 28.8 million bid for a player that Arsenal spent over 40 million pounds on. Oh, come on, listen. So I think you can just get this rumour, screw it up and just toss it. You know, like that thing, paper toss. Toss it. There's no way on earth that rumour's going to happen. So totally discount that one, but it's all over the place today, but absolutely no way is that going to happen. Arsenal, however, have made 2 excellent signings, right? One of them is James Haycock, and he's a fitness coach, formerly of Huddersfield Town. And the other one is a guy who goes by the name of Barry Solan. Solan, he is also a fitness coach, and he was one of the guys who trained the German national team to win in the World Cup, was responsible, you know, one of the guys behind their fitness regime. And obviously Arsenal now taking this whole issue of fitness really, really seriously. I mean, listen, they have seen over the years how damaging it's been to Arsenal. You've only got to look at the second half of the season in comparison to the first half of the season last year to see that, you know, fitness is so important for Arsenal. When they've got a fit squad, we're as good as anybody out there. But injuries after injuries have just, over the years, just completely decimated Arsenal and stopped them from making any sort of decent title challenge. I mean, at the moment, we can see Welbeck, he's not gone on the tour to Singapore, and we're being told it's the reason because his injuries flared up again. I was chatting to somebody from Arsenal yesterday, and they said it's a bit more of a precaution with Danny Welbeck. The fact that, you know, his knees still not 100%, and they don't really want him sitting on a very long flight both ways to Singapore to make that knee worse, and that he should be back for the Emirates Cup. So I don't think it's as drastic as it was being made out in a lot of the press yesterday. But there's no doubt that over the years we've had so many problems with injuries that it's just good to see that Arsenal are really, really taking this whole fitness thing really, really seriously and making it a top priority and bringing in guys that they think are going to, you know, deliver the best level of fitness for the team, because if that team stays fit, it's definitely going to be formidable next week. Finally, you know what, a very interesting point yesterday that I tweeted out, and we kind of spoke about it yesterday, but Robbie van Persie, all right, I know he's not an Arsenal player no more, as you can see there, Man United player, on the verge of joining Fenerbahce, right? Which I said yesterday, is, you know, those Turkish clubs, no disrespect to them, but they've kind of become the sort of graveyard for top players where they just sort of go there and pick up a pension right at the end of their career. Now, I was just looking at it yesterday and I was saying to myself, listen, don't get me wrong, he left Arsenal and he won a title for Manchester United, and that's a mega achievement, massive achievement. He wanted to win a title, he won a title. But he's been at Man United 3 years now, and he's not going to be a legend at Manchester United. He's just going to be, when, you know, United players in 5 years' time, when he's completely retired, and they look back on it and they say, oh yeah, Van Persie was a decent player. He's going to be a bit like what Berbatov was at Manchester United. Whereas if he'd have stayed at Arsenal, stuck it out, he could have maybe fired us to have won the title over the past couple of years, especially those years when we were getting close. He could possibly, with Ozil and guys like that, have fired us to have got the title and the FA Cups he could have won. Plus, as well, I very much doubt that Arsene Wenger would have just sent him on his way, in which he's been sent on at the moment. And, you know, even he today has put out quotes out there saying that he wants to leave because he feels betrayed at Manchester United. Now, has it been a success for him leaving? One season out of those 3, great season. But apart from that, in the Champions League, and it's just been a real struggle for him there. And you just wonder to yourself that Van Persie, had you stayed at Arsenal, could you, number one, have fired us to win in the league? Because you had the quality. Don't get me wrong, he was a great player, was a great player at United. And number 2, would Arsene Wenger have been that disloyal to you? And number 3, you know what? Serve you right, because you were disloyal to us. So you're getting a taste of your own medicine right now with Manchester United, where they're just saying, yeah, mate, cheers. You won us the league that season, but on your bike, son. Right. Let's get into your comments. Of course, I was asking a question yesterday about Higuain. Do you guys think, yes, it'd be a good signing? A lot of people seem to have turned on him after that Copa America final. Ross James says, I'd take Higuain, but 40 million is already too much for him. I wouldn't put in another bid, and I agree with him there. It's way too much money for Higuain. Hammy's 94 says, no. He said, that's taking Higuain. He says, he isn't what we need. Can't see him outscoring Giroud, and I'm not Giroud's biggest fan either, he says. Chris Kell says, how about Muller from Bayern for a forward? He'd be a great sign. They're seeing him linked heavily with Manchester United today. They're talking about 55 million pounds. I think that guy, Thomas Muller, is one of the most underrated strikers in world football. He's very unassuming, but he always delivers. He is quality, but I just very much doubt that he'll be sold by Bayern. Shankar says, if we bag Marco Reus right now and Sanchez and Fia up front, this will be an awesome attack. He goes, if we got that, no need for Higuain. Mirak says, Benzema is a great player. He would work well with Ozil. Imagine the partnership with Sanchez as well. That would be absolutely awesome. That's why I want to see Arsenal pull off that real big marquee signing up front, because we will have a forward line that will frighten most teams in world football, and that's what we'd like to see. Stu P says, would love to see Higuain. He's a great striker. We've got no chance of getting Benzema. He won't leave Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, and Lacazette is too much of a gamble, he says. S. Peters says, no, Higuain. He doesn't suit our team, Robbie. He goes, no, no, no. He doesn't want him. And let's get one more here. And again, it's Bill Singh. He says, no, Higuain. No, Higuain. Let's get Benzema. And he said, do we really need Goetze? Great player, but we've got excellent midfield players. And then if I go on and I was to read, you know, this hundreds and hundreds of comments, but I must say that nearly all of them, I'd say it's probably like 70-30 saying they wouldn't want to see Gonzalo Higuain come to Arsenal. I don't know. I still think, listen, if it happened, he's a quality player, and I think it would be a great signing for Arsenal, but it all depends on the price. But I agree with fans. Karim Benzema, if Wenger has put in that phone call and he's willing to come and it could happen, that would be my ultimate signing for the summer, to have Benzema up front with Alexis Sanchez, with Theo Walcott, like somebody said, or the Oxlade-Chamberlain, with him behind them, Mesut Ozil. That is looking awesome. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily. We'll be back tomorrow round about the same time, so make sure you check us out.